Welcome in to the DNVR Avalanche Pregame Show. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. The Avs are on your TV screens, or perhaps you're at the arena. Who knows? It is in Colorado. But after not quite 3 weeks, nearly 3 weeks, the Avs are actually playing a hockey game. So that's a plus. Rudolph, Meghan, Blais coming at you live for the pregame show, talking about... I really want to say a healthy Avalanche team, but
careful,
not quite healthy, but pretty darn close.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Val Nichushkin injured in the upper body somewhere during practices.
Yeah, hopefully not like in a hotel room wrestling with somebody else.
All right, Tyson, calm down. But look, their defense, I think, is the exciting part, right?
Yes.
Their full core of defense will be good to go, or relatively full core. I'm not 100% sure if Murray will play, but certainly Bowen Byram is back.
And that's the exciting part, right? Is we get Bo Byram back. Like,
yep.
The Avs got to be excited for that. Hopefully, he can stay healthy for a stint here and show us what he can do. So
yeah, it looks like anything it did when he was healthy. You're excited on it.
Yeah.
Meghan, I do want to get your take on the rest versus rust debate here.
Oh.
3 weeks without hockey nearly for the Avs. Is that good? Obviously, they're healthier, but a little rusty maybe?
I don't want to lean negative, but I don't think it benefits any team generally.
Okay.
Not even specific to the Avs, but I think they're going to be a little rusty, but I think they can shake it off too. They've been having fun at practice, it seems like.
Yeah, they've been.
I'm sure they're raring to go.
Really enjoying
games,
themselves, right? Barely even practices by the looks of it.
So maybe that'll benefit them. I don't.
Good attitude at the very least, for sure.
Yeah.
Hello, welcome back to the chat.
Yes.
Also, so look, on paper, you can't ask the Avs to be a much better team than they are tonight. Yeah, having Nuke back in would be great, but is there a team in the league without at least one or two injuries or guys on the COVID protocol or whatever?
Yeah, it's back to a normal like setup, right? Where your team has some injuries, but that's just happens throughout an 82-game season. You're going to run into those things. So not a big deal. I think the 3 weeks might be good for Nathan MacKinnon to just kind of think about what's going on, maybe relax. I'm hoping for a big game from him today.
I hope he relaxed.
Yeah.
Remember that he's Nathan MacKinnon.
Right.
Yeah, certainly hopeful there. Look, all the Avs stars are in this game, so pick your favorite and put some money on them. I'm sure we'll get to some of that a little bit later in the show. But right here, the Ducks are an interesting opponent this year.
Yeah.
Obviously, they started out ridiculously hot.
Yep.
They've cooled off a little bit going into and had some of their own COVID issues, but
not like the Avalanche, but yeah, they did have some. I mean, Trevor Zegras was in. Who else was in it?
There were a couple others, but Zegras was the big name.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, Avs fan or not, watching Trevor Zegras is dope.
He's fun to watch.
Oh man,
I think he's bad for the game.
Okay, Torts. Calm down over here.
What a horrible take, by the way.
Oh my God,
This is like unreal.
Dude,
Everyone hates high skill.
Dude makes the play of the year, arguably, and Torts is like, back in my day, you get beat up for that. Come on.
Sport that needs more attention too.
Yeah,
I mean, that just put so many more eyes on the league. And
That type of stuff is what gets national attention.
Exactly.
Yeah, and old hockey
Bad.
dudes with their stupid old boys mentality. I don't know what to tell you. All right, so I'm going to take a page out of Allie's book on this one.
Okay.
And I'm going to ask you guys who you think scores the first goal of the game. No fast takers on this one.
Mikko Rantanen.
Love the answer.
I've actually got this bet. And it's MacKinnon.
Of course you actually have this bet.
Nice.
See, I like Mikko on this one because Mikko, notorious for not being rusty. He's the dude who comes off of breaks and has a 3-point night. So I like Mikko on that side of it. The other side of this game, I will say, I don't know. I'm assuming it's John Gibson in net. I don't think it's technically official yet, but expectation is John Gibson will play. He has always played fairly well against Colorado.
Stands on his head.
He's a little bit of the X factor. I mean, there's been games where basically the Avs have outplayed the Anaheim Ducks, and Gibson has stole games. Like, I remember being like, that's the goalie you want right there. And then you watch him in other games, you're like, yeah, he's average. So
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm a John Gibson stan here.
No,
but
I know.
Okay. Ooh, chat likes Bo. A lot of people in chat saying some Bo action for the first goal.
That's bold. I like it.
I'm here
be
for
fun.
it. Yeah, it would be fun.
Hope it's Bo.
All right. I want to take a little bit of a detour here too because Megan, you've been following the Colorado Eagles a lot.
Yes.
We can talk about them a little bit. I also want to talk about the taxi squad.
Wow. Yeah.
Expectations for opportunities for guys there?
Hopefully not, but
kind of limbo, right? Yeah.
it's just, I mean, that's the nature of hockey too, though. So it'll be awesome opportunities for some guys. Even just seeing what we saw in Justin Barron when he came up briefly, not as a taxi squad, but it was an unusual opportunity, but I felt like he really was opportunistic and made the most of it. So for a guy like that, I think it could definitely give them some good games and some NHL experience.
Is he your high point for the Eagles right now, Barron, or do you have someone else?
He is, especially of the defensemen.
For sure.
Tops. But there's a lot of interesting people who are playing forward right now. A lot of men of mystery too that I just don't know what's going to come next for them. But Shane Bowers is back. And so he's somebody that I'm looking at closely because he's shaking off some rust.
Yep.
And
common theme.
And I think that we're going to see him elevate his game throughout the rest of the season.
I hope so. He's due to start dominating that league, I hope.
I think if I speak it into existence,
there you go.
Too, some of it is just, if I say it out loud, maybe it will happen.
Get the positive energy out there. That's for
exactly
Bowers chat. Need a little bit of that going on right now. All right. So it's been 3 weeks. I'm going to keep reiterating since the Avs have played a hockey game. So even with the little bit of the pause, the NHL standings do look significantly different. Now, read these standings understanding that the Avs in some cases have 7 games in hand on some of these teams, but the Avs now technically sit in just outside the wild card spot in the West. Technically, they're 4th in the Central Division with 36 points. But when you count in the games in hand they have, they're 4 points behind the Wild with 4 games in hand. 6 points behind Nashville with 6 games in hand, and 7 points behind St. Louis with 6 games in hand.
The best way to look at those is also look at the win percentage. Where does that put the Avs when you put the win percentage up there? They're at 6.6 or 0.667.
So winning 2 out of 3, yeah.
In first place in the Central Division, if
right.
you're going off that set.
And it's so the Avs not only have the opportunity, if they play 500 hockey in these games that they have to make up, essentially, they're right at the top of the division. If they play better than that, I think especially not just looking ahead, but looking behind, they can put the teams behind them just pretty much out of reach with a couple of wins as they get rolling here again. So it is pretty. I don't know how I don't know if I define it as extremely important, but the Avs can put themselves in a very opportunistic place that they kind of failed to do earlier in the year.
I think if you're looking at that, and obviously in the locker room, you want to talk about, maybe taking a little bit of that pressure off, because there was so much pressure at the beginning of the year. You kind of saw the Avs falter out of the starting gate. Obviously, a lot of injuries were happening. So those things, kind of got into their like mindset a little bit. And now you're, like what you just said, it's like, look, if you play 500 hockey, you're going to come out feeling good about yourself. If you do anything more, it's going to be hard for the league to catch up. So
that's a great point. I think the pressure is a lot of why they struggled at the beginning of the season. The running joke became, are the Avs better without Nathan MacKinnon? And I think it was because he was putting a lot of pressure on himself.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think that affected his play. And maybe if they've all been relaxing a little bit over this break, they'll get out of their heads a little bit.
Yeah.
It just completely changes the dynamic for so much, right? We're talking about kids like Bowen Byram, like Alex Newhook, or even a call-up for Justin Barron. Before this pause, those call-ups were, everybody's hurt, and we just need somebody, please help.
Please help.
And if the Avs can get a little bit of gapping, find themselves a little bit more comfortable in the standings, those opportunities might become more of a, hey, we can afford to play you a little bit here.
Yeah.
I like that circumstance too.
Some more like real maintenance days for players instead of just at practice.
Which it's
Dire
like,
straits, yeah.
I know we say the Avs are healthy, but Kale was taking maintenance days at practice still. So as healthy as they are, it's not perfect, but you got to feel pretty good about it. All right. Move on since we're already segueing into health anyway. Mostly, I think the Avs should be pretty recovered. The last two out of protocol, I believe, were Darren Helm and Pavel Francouz. Obviously, Francouz not going to play tonight, so that's fine. But as far as like having their legs back, they should mostly be okay. But I'm curious to see, I guess, what line combinations they go with. Obviously, they'll be the three-headed monster, but after that, we'll see. I don't know. Do you guys have any guesses?
Oh, that second line, I'm not sure what they're going to do there. If they're going to start the scramble and move a bunch of players around, or if they're just going to stick somebody up there and call it good.
I mean, never doubt the blender for sure. But
I haven't seen rosters or the roster yet
now
at
I'm
all.
curious.
Have they posted it? I don't know.
Yeah.
So they listed Confer there. But also, as we've learned before the pause,
that doesn't matter.
Those rosters don't necessarily mean anything. So take it with a grain of salt. So Confer up on the second line. So all right. So now your Newhook will be 3C. That's pretty standard. But you're messing with some form of probably Logan O'Connor, Kubel there, something like that.
Yeah.
And then a fourth line of Jost, Helm, and who am I forgetting?
McDermott.
Oh, McDermott at forward.
That's right.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
I like him up there.
I'm changing my answer. First goal.
To McDermott? Let's go. Let's go. And I like that the conversation of even the like McDermott haters have all transferred over to like, now the best thing that could happen is Curtis McDermott scores a goal. Everyone's here for this right now.
Gets a goal, starts a fight, whatever he wants to do.
Yeah. It's
How do you think they're going to play Bo Byram tonight or today? Do you think they're going to kind of ease him back in because of issues, or do you think it's like, hey, everyone's had the break, so let's go?
The story so far with him dealing with his not a concussion that's definitely a concussion has been they're letting him take the lead on how he feels. So I don't know how much you can really manage that in a game if Byram goes back to the bench every shift and says, I'm good, coach, or what.
Yeah.
But I do think that if they think he's ready, they're not going to put any leashes on him. I'll put it that way.
It's kind of like asking a player if they want to play against Nashville.
Oh, my God. I know.
Took it to a vote.
He's not going to say, I don't want to go back out there.
The hockey players.
Yep. Yeah, that's... maybe think about the situation a little bit there before you ask dudes in their gear ready to play a hockey game if they want to play a hockey game.
Right.
But, I don't know what my favorite pairing on the Avs defense is anymore because I don't think you can go wrong. I'm assuming it'll be Johnson and Johnson as the bottom pair, which I know a lot of people will be salty about. But as a third pair, that's just fine.
That's an amazing third pair.
But So first of all, will they go Bo and Makar together and then do Girard and Taves? But any combination of those four, even if it's a guy playing his offside, I mean,
does it really matter?
Right.
I don't think it really matters with them.
How does another team adjust to that? I mean, how much of an advantage is it for the Avs to roll out a caliber of Taves and Girard against teams like second line forwards?
Yeah, no, it's one of their strongest assets for the Avs right now, having a fully healthy,
and
nearly decor.
And obviously, like, the Avs defense is the most high-powered offensively in the league.
Yeah.
We know that. But with Taves in the lineup and quietly with Byram in the lineup, on the back end of the blue line, they get a lot better.
I mean, that's what we've been talking about all year is, the defense really in the offensive zone is that X factor that teams have a hard time figuring out how they're going to match up against it because you're not in that traditional, like, the defense is just the defense, like they're all potent offensive weapons. So it's hard for other teams to game plan against that.
No argument here.
Yeah, I mean, well, and you're going to give teams different looks, right? By just switching out your defensive pairs. You don't have to mix up the lines to see different looks.
That's true. That's true.
Yep.
You can just throw out the big guns or throw out a line of Byram and EJ if you want. It's do whatever. It doesn't matter.
Nope.
When you're that good, I don't know. So it's I guess maybe that's the point that I've kind of didn't know I was digging at, but have been digging at this whole time, is a healthy Avs team is unbelievably versatile.
Yep.
They can kind of mix and match however they want and just tell other teams to deal with it. So it should certainly be a fun game from that side of things. The other big point that was one we'd been making before the break, but Darcy Kemper. Meghan, is it finally time for him to... I'm not going to put the jinx of saying he's got to get his first shutout on or anything, but...
But we just said the word shutout.
So, but, put in a quality 1-2 goal performance.
I would really like that for him, for his confidence, too. Because I think he's played fine.
Agreed.
He's been fine in net.
He's not hurting you, but he's not stealing games either.
No, and I'd like to see that because I think that he could.
I would hope so.
He has in the past for the Yotes, so
yeah.
I mean that game is there for sure.
The potential's there, yeah.
Yeah.
Which, is it one of those situations, because we're talking about, this is the Avs defense in front of him tonight should be at its best. Is that helping him, or is that maybe, a little bit harder to stay focused when you're not Arizona Coyotes 50 shots a night?
Right, maybe it's a crutch.
Yeah. Could be.
Yeah,
it's like one of those things where you got to just stay busy. I mean, goalies get cold and get bored, and then they're kind of like out of the game a little bit, and then you'll see a goal happen on a team that's, being outshot 20-3. And maybe it is one of those things where he just likes to see the puck a lot. Avs aren't really helping him with that.
Well, just tell your defenseman to go forward. Yeah. Forget it. Just go.
It's not a way to win games. I mean, we're talking about the Yotes. Like, he was a bright point in that.
Look, you say that, but, I said the Avs couldn't keep scoring 7 goals for a month, and they kept doing it.
That's
so,
true. That's
I don't know. I don't know at this point.
The best running joke.
All right. Well, on that note, Blais, are you taking the over tonight?
Oh, I am taking the over. How about you?
I want to take the over, but I'm not sure if Gibson's going to let it happen.
Okay.
What's the over
6.
6. I'd say it at least pushes, right? So you get your money back. I have a couple of bets, but I know Blais has like 15 bets on this hockey game. So
hold on, I'm placing one more.
Oh my, he's not even done yet. All right. Just start rattling them off here, bud.
All right, let's go down here. Let's start. Anytime goal scorer, Kadri. That is, let's see here,
plus something.
It's not telling me what the plus 190, which
That's pretty good money for Kadri. Yeah,
got over 6 like we talked about.
Yep.
I have the Avs winning with the
coverage.
Yep. So
I assume is 1.5.
These are some of the ones that I was like pretty interested in, and I think you found some value here. You were telling me about them. You got Berkey with over a half assist at plus 165.
If you're taking Kadri as a goal scorer, that's a Berkey assist right there.
And another one that's back is Makar assist over a half
at even money.
Even money for
that's
a KO
crazy.
Assist. Take that. I got Landeskog assist because, like I said, I have MacKinnon scoring.
Yep.
And then I have MacKinnon as a goal scorer. And then I did a parlay, but we won't.
Oh my God, he's got too many bets to count. Anyway, look, if you got a little bit of money to throw around, the Avs haven't played in 3 weeks, so splash a little bit of cash. I actually really like the same game parlays that they do now.
Yeah.
You can do a lot of cool stuff with that. That I always end up picking stupid stuff and blowing my bet, but if you hit on one, you get really good odds. So definitely be sure to check that one out. All right, so let's wrap up the show here. Any final thoughts or expectations for this hockey game going into it? Start with Megan.
I want to see something positive happen for Troy Terry, just for personal.
The DU fan over here. Okay.
Colorado boy, yeah.
But I still want the Avs to
win. Good answer.
I mean, I'm just hoping the Avs kind of, take this break and they come out and kind of start dominating teams now that we're past the new year. We're past the basically Christmas break that they take and, just go out and start doing what this team should do, which they have been, but just want to see them continue it.
3 weeks ago, I was really tired of doing 12-goal game reviews. Tonight, I want to see 35 goals. I want to pour water on my head in my review. I want the Avs to blow this team out. That's what I want with them being back, all right?
If there's 2 hat tricks, do you have to pour 2 glasses of water on your head? How does that work?
I don't know. I don't think that comes up very often. What?
We do it live on camera.
I mean, I usually do it in my review.
Reviews.
If 2, I'll do it on the post-game show if there's 2. Sure. It won't ruin the set. Looks like Zegras is out, according to chat, which
interesting.
Good sign for the Avs, probably. All right. Let's get the hat tricks before you get too excited, chat. All right, calm down. Puck drop is less than 10 minutes away, though, so we are going to finish up. Thank you, everyone, for watching.
Yep.
Back with us. We're glad the Avs are back. We're glad to be back. You can catch us post-game as well, so be sure to tune in. Whatever happens to the hockey game, we'll be breaking it all down for you. We'll be joined by Jesse post-game, too, if you want to hear his thoughts. He's live in the arena right now. So, until the final buzzer, we'll talk to you later.